Hi love, welcome back. In today's class we're making this beautiful square top. If you are new to the channel, my name is Miss Ayi and you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you my love, thank you darling for always coming back. Let's get right into class. This top is unisex and it's fit size medium to large. Let's get right into class. I'm going to be using two balls of this circular yarn in blue and yellow and a 2.5 or 3.0 mm hook as prescribed by the yarn. So I'm going to be using both, but I'm going to be starting with a 3.0, my 3.0 hook. And also you would have your tape measure, your scissors, your stitch markers and your darning needle. So to begin with, we are going to start off by making our very first square. You can either make a magic circle or you're going to make a slip knot and you chain 4. Slip stitch inside the 4th stitch and you make your slip stitch. So this is also way of making your magic ring or your magic circle. You're going to chain 4 and your chain 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1. You're going to prepare a double crochet inside the magic ring or the small circle you have. So this is 2, chain 1, make your double crochet in the circle, making it 3, and you're going to go ahead chain 1. You're going to go ahead make double crochet chain 1 until you have 12 double crochets inside the magic ring or inside the small circle. So after your 12 double crochets, you're going to chain your 1 and you're going to slip stitch inside the 3rd stitch of our first 4 chain space, and you should be having something like this. Row 2, we are going to be working inside the chain 1 space. So what we are going to do is we are going to slip stitch. For our work, we are going to shift our work to the middle, that is the chain 1 space, and you are going to chain 3 and chain 3 count as your first double crochet. We are going to be doing incompleted 3 double crochets cluster and we pull through. So we are going to make 3 double crochet into 1, chain 2, inside the next chain 1 space we are going to be making our 3 double crochet cluster or our 3 incomplete double crochet and make it all 1. And this is what we have, chain 2 again, and we are going to keep repeating our 3 double crochet cluster inside the chain 1 space until the end of the row. At the end of this row you should have 12 double crochet cluster. At the end of your 12 double crochet cluster, you're going to chain 2 and you're going to make a slip stitch on top of your first double crochet space or on top of the first cluster. So you should be having something like this for row 2. Now row 3, we are going to chain 4 and we are going to make a double crochet inside the top of where the 3 clusters met. So this is chain 4 count as our first double crochet. So this is 2. You are going to chain 1 inside the chain 2 space. You are going to make a double crochet, chain 1 on top of the cluster. You are going to make a double crochet, chain 1 in the chain 2 space. You are going to make a double crochet, chain 1 on top of the cluster. You are going to make a double crochet, chain 1, and inside the chain 2 space until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to chain 1 and you are going to slip stitch in the 3rd stitch. And there you go. So you are going to slip stitch, and this is the end of row 3. Don't worry if your work is bending. We're going to straighten it up when we are done with our work. So now row 4, you're going to chain 1, and inside the same space you're going to make a single crochet. Inside the chain 1 space, you're going to make 2 single crochets, and on top of the double crochet you would make a single crochet, and inside the chain 1 space you're going to make 2 single crochets. On top of the double crochet you're going to make a single crochet, and you're going to keep repeating this until the end of the row. So single crochet, 2 single crochet in the chain 1 space, single crochet on top of the double crochet, and you're going to repeat this, and I'll meet you at the end. At the end of the row, you're going to place your last 2 single crochet and you're going to slip stitch. And now we are going to be working our corners. So chain 4 count as a double crochet, chain 1. Inside the same stitch you are going to make a treble crochet. So yarn over 2 times and make your treble crochet inside the same stitch, chain 2, 1 and 2, make another treble crochet inside the same stitch, chain 1 and make a double crochet inside the same stitch. So this is our cluster, our first cluster for the corner. So you are going to chain 3, you are going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and inside the 3rd stitch you are going to make an extended single crochet inside the 3rd stitch. You are going to chain 3 again, skip 2, 1, 2, and inside the 3rd stitch you are going to make a single crochet. So that's 2, chain 3 again, skip 3 and make a single crochet. So this is 3, chain 3, skip 2 and make a single crochet. That is your 4th mesh. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 3 again, skip 2 and make a single crochet, and make an extended single crochet on your 5th one. Chain 3, skip 2, and we are going to make our 2nd corner. So inside the 3rd stitch you are going to make a double crochet, chain. So you should have 6 mesh in total. So chain 1 and make a treble crochet inside the same stitch, chain 2, make a treble crochet inside the same stitch, chain 1, and make a double crochet inside the same stitch. So this is our second corner, and now we are moving on to the mesh row, and you make our third corner and our fourth. So chain 3, you are going to skip 2, and inside the third stitch you are going to make an extended single crochet. That's your 1. Chain 3, skip 2, make a single crochet. That's your second mesh. Chain 3, skip 2, make a single crochet. That is your third mesh. Chain 3, skip 2, make a single crochet. That's your fourth mesh. Chain 3, skip 2, and make an extended single crochet. That's your fifth mesh. Chain 3, skip 2, and make a double crochet. That is your third corner. Chain 1 and make a treble crochet in the same space or in the same stitch. Chain 2, make a treble crochet in the same stitch. Chain 1 and make a double crochet in the same stitch to complete. So our third corner is completed, and you are going to go on and make your fourth corner and join your work. So now we've made our fourth corner, and at the end of the row you are going to slip stitch inside the third stitch. So chain 3 and slip stitch inside the third stitch, and our square is completed. So we are going to be working the same exact squares, and then we'll be joining until our work is complete. So chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn. If you don't understand anything from this, you are going to go over to the beginning and watch how to make your squares, because we are going to be repeating squares after squares until you have your top is completed. So this is the squares we are going to be making. So just pay attention. If you didn't understand anything, just go back and make it. So now this is my second square almost completed. So I've made the first, second, and inside the third corner. I'm on the third corner, so you make your double crochet, chain 1 and a triple crochet. Now you are going to chain 1, and we are going to connect it at the corner of our first, any corner of our first square. So inside the middle, the chain 2 space, we are going to make a single crochet. So this is what we should be having. Now we are going to chain 1 and make a treble crochet inside the same stitch. So remember, we've already done a double crochet and a treble crochet our first half. So we are going to add our treble crochet and our double crochet. So the third corner is completed. So inside the chain 3 space, you are going to pull your yarn through the completed square. Your first chain 3 space, you are going to chain 1, and your incomplete square, you are going to skip 2, and inside the third stitch you are going to make your first extended single crochet. Chain 1 and chain 1, and into our second chain 3 space we are going to pull our yarn and chain 1. We are going to skip 2 and make a single crochet in the third stitch. So that's our second mesh, chain 1, insert your yarn inside the third mesh, chain 3 space, chain 1. You are going to skip 2 from the incompleted and make a single crochet. So that is our third mesh. 1, 2, 3. You are going to chain 1 into the fourth one again, pull through, chain 1, skip 2 and make a single crochet. So that's our fourth fifth mesh, 3, 4. So make a single crochet, chain 1. So you should be having something like this. Chain 1 into the fifth mesh space. We are going to skip 2, 1, 2, and inside the third stitch you are going to make an extended single crochet. So that's our fifth mesh. Now into our sixth mesh you are going to pull through, chain 1, and pull through the completed mesh space, chain 1, and now make a double crochet. You're going to skip 2 and make a double crochet. So that's our sixth mesh space. Now make a treble crochet in the same space and chain 1, and in the middle of our corner we are going to attach our work in the chain 2 space. So chain 1 and make your second treble crochet. You should be having something like this. Chain 1 and make our last double crochet all in the same stitch. So this is what we should be having. So our third corner is complete and we are going to work until the end of the row and we shall connect. So work our 6 meshes until the end. So at the end of the row we are going to chain 3 and we are going to connect it inside the third stitch with a slip stitch. You're going to chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn. I'm going to be joining 6 squares in total for the length, but if you are making for a size extra large, consider joining 8 squares. So this is my second and I'm going to walk you through how to join the third and we shall take it from there. So with the third, I've done my first, second, and my third corner is not complete, so I'm going to chain 1, and at the corner of any of the stitches I'm going to join right in the middle space and I'm going to chain 1 and make a treble crochet inside the same stitch and a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet inside the same stitch. So our third corner is completed now. So now let's work joining the mesh. So chain 1 and inside the first mesh space you connect it with a single crochet, skip 2, and inside the third stitch you are going to make an extended single crochet. That is your first mesh. Chain 1 into the completed mesh square. You are going to pull through and make a chain 1, skip 2 and make a single crochet. That is our second mesh. Chain 1 in the third completed mesh. You are going to pull through and chain 1, skip 2 and skip 2 and make your third mesh. Chain 1 inside the completed mesh square. You are going to pull through, chain 1, and you are going to skip 2 inside the third stitch. You are going to make a single crochet. That is our fourth mesh. Chain 1 inside the fifth mesh, pull through the completed fifth mesh, pull through and chain 1, skip 2, and inside the third stitch make an extended single crochet, and that is our fifth mesh. With the sixth mesh you are going to chain 1 and pull through from the completed sixth mesh space, chain 1. You are going to skip 2 and inside the third stitch you are going to make a double crochet, chain 1, and make a treble crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, and inside the corner right in the middle you are going to pull through and chain 1, make a treble crochet in the same space, chain 1, chain 1, and make a double crochet. So this is what you should be having. Now you are going to keep making your mesh. You are going to keep making your 6 mesh, and this is 1, and you are going to connect it at the ends of the row. So you are going to go ahead and keep at the end of the row you are going to slip stitch inside the 3rd stitch, chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn. Keep joining your squares until you have 6 squares, and I'll meet you there. So this is my 6 squares and it measures 22 inches, and this is what the work is looking like. So this is 6 squares, and now if you are making for a size extra large, please consider making 8 squares. Join 8 squares. So now let's work our length. So it's going to be 6 by 6. So our first 6 squares is our row 1. Now row 2, we are going to be joining our half corner. So make our treble in the same stitch. So this is our second treble, chain 1 and make a double crochet. Now you are going to chain 1 just as we were doing. So we are joining row 2. So chain 1, and we are going to, inside the first mesh space, we are going to pull through, chain 1. We are going to skip skip 2, and inside the 3rd stitch we are going to make a single crochet, an extended single crochet, chain 1, and now we are connecting to the 2nd mesh space. We are going to skip 2, make a single crochet. So that is our mesh 2, and mesh 3. We are going to pull through the completed one, chain 1, and skip 2 and make our 3rd single crochet. That is mesh 3, chain 1. We are going to pull through, chain 1, and skip 2 and make a single crochet. That is our 4th mesh, chain 1, and inside the 5th mesh we are going to pull through, chain 1, skip 2 and make an extended single crochet. That's our 5th mesh. Now to the 6th we are going to pull through, chain 1, and we are going to skip 2, and inside the 3rd stitch you are going to make a double crochet. Now we are going to make a treble crochet inside the same stitch, chain 1, and we are going to be connecting it to the corner. So as you can see, the chain 2 space is our corner, so we are going to chain 1 and make a treble crochet inside the same stitch, chain 1 and a double crochet inside the same stitch. So this is our 3rd corner completed, and we are going to chain 3 and work our 6 mesh until the end, and we shall connect to the 3rd stitch. So this is our first mesh. So chain 3, make a single crochet inside the 3rd stitch. So that's our 2nd, chain 3, make a single crochet in the 3rd stitch. That's our 3rd, chain 3, make a single crochet in the 3rd stitch. That's our 4th, chain 3, make a single crochet in the 3rd stitch. That's our 5th, and now chain 3 and we connect it inside the chain 3 space in the 3rd stitch. and that's our seat. So you're going to cut and fasten your chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn, and this is what we should be having. So the connecting is pretty much the same, and we are going to connect six squares again. From this second square up until the end of the seat 1, we are only going to make 1.5 completed corners. So 1 complete corner, and the half we are going to join. So we are not going to be making 2.5 corners, but rather 1.5 corner. So connect 8 and make a treble crochet. I'm trying to work on the strand, the tail as I go. So chain 1 and make a double crochet. So that's your second corner completed, and now we are going to be working our mesh, our 6 mesh. So connect, skip 2 and make your first extended single crochet. That is our first mesh, and you're going to keep doing this until your 6 mesh is completed. So this is our second mesh. Our third mesh. Four. Our fourth mesh. Now our fifth mesh, we are going to make an extended single crochet. An extended single crochet. Chain 1 and make your extended single crochet. So that's our fifth mesh, and our sixth mesh is going to be our third corner. So pull through and make a double crochet in the third stitch. Chain 1, make a treble crochet in the same stitch and connect it. Chain 1 and place your mesh down. We are going to connect it inside the second square in our first row. So let me turn the work so you can see it well. So this is the second square. We are going to attach our third corner, and you are going to chain 1, make a treble crochet in the same stitch, chain 1 and make a double crochet in the same stitch. So this is what we should be having. Now we are going to again make our 6 mesh rows attaching our fourth corner space or our third corner space. So this is our third corner, so work our mesh, and this is our first mesh. One, two, and inside the third stitch make our second mesh. Make our third mesh. Make your fourth mesh. The fifth mesh. So the fifth mesh, you are going to make an extended single crochet. Chain 1, connect it to the completed sixth mesh, chain 1 and make a double crochet inside the third stitch, chain 1, make a triple crochet in the same stitch, chain 1 and connect it to the corner, chain 1 and make a treble crochet in the same stitch, chain 1 and a double crochet in the same stitch. And now go ahead and complete your mesh and connect it at the end of the row. So this is how we are going to be connecting our work, and we are going to do it until the end of the row. I'm going to connect 6 squares. So this is what we have: 1 2 3 4 5 6, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is what the work is looking like. So the last 6 I used a yellow yarn, and the very first 1 2 I used a different yarn because my blue yarn was running out. So that's the only thing I could do. So now the front panel, you are going to make 3 squares, so it's 3 by 6. If you are making for extra large, connect 4 by 6 or 4 by whichever the length you want, right? So now we are going to be attaching the shoulder part. So connect both and make a single crochet into our first mesh space. We are going to make a single crochet, chain 1, and make a single crochet in the front, and make a single crochet, chain 1, connect to the back panel, make a single crochet, chain 1 to the front panel. So we are going to be alternating between the front and the back with a single crochet, chain 1 until the end of the row, or connecting our very first front panel. So in total, the panels are going to be 3, 2 front panel and 1 big back panel. So the back panel, again, I made 6 squares by 6. So if you want it to be more lengthy, you are going to make 6, and 6 is okay. You're going to make 6 by 8 or 6 by 7. And if you're making for a size extra large, please make 8 by 8, or either 8 by 7 or 8 by 8, depending on how long you want your top. So the connecting is quite simple because of the mesh space. You would see the mesh space are very much aligned, and there's no problem connecting it with single crochet, chain 1, single crochet until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you should be having something like this. And now we are going to connect the second part. And we are going to be working, I'm not going to cut my yarn, so I'm going to continue and connect the second part with single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 till the end of the row. This is what your work should be looking like now after connecting. Now we are going to be connecting the size of our work, but before we do so, we are going to measure our armhole, and then we are going to connect the size. So you're going to take your tape measure. For this one, I'm just going to connect I'm just going to leave 2 squares, but if you want your exact measurement or accuracy, you're going to take your tape measure and measure how much you want for your armhole. But I'm just going to mark 2 squares and connect only on inside 4 squares. So beginning from the bottom part of the work, I'm going to chain 1, and the same as we connected the shoulder part, we are going to be connecting the sides of our work with a single crochet, chain 1, and alternating between the front and the back panel until you get to where your stitch marker is, or your desired length, or where your armhole you want to start your armhole, your arm space. So keep connecting it, single crochet, chain 1, alternate between the front and the back panel until the end of the row. And the same way we are doing for this side of the panel, we are going to do the same exact for the other side of our work, connecting it until you have both the arm space. And I shall meet you when I've connected both sides of my top. So I've connected both sides of the top. So at the end of the row, you are going to connect and chain 1 cut, slip stitch, chain 1 cut, and fasten your yarn. You are going to do the same exact thing for the other side, cut and fasten your yarn, and you are going to turn to the right side of the work, and we are going to make our collar before we come and make our arm. Your work should be looking like this now. So this is how the work is, and we are going to be working our collar. And with the collar, I'm going to measure 8 inches. If you want your collar to be a bit longer, you're going to measure 9 inches, but I'm going to measure 8 inches. Again, I want to work with 2 squares. So you're going to attach your yarn. So with the collar, I'm going to be using yellow yarn, since the front of the top is yellow. So I'm going to be using yellow yarn. So connect your yarn into the very first mesh space, and as we know, the mesh consists of chaining 3. So inside each mesh space, we are going to make 3 single crochets. So 3 single crochets inside each mesh space. So the last mesh, we have 3, the next mesh. And now when we get to our corner spaces, so this is our corner spaces, we are going to make 2 single crochets in each stitch. So 2 again, and your last 2. And now onto the mesh space, we are going to make 3 single crochets, and you are going to keep working this until the end of the row, or where you've marked where you've placed your stitch marker for your 8 inches. So now the back, I'm going to place 3 single crochets in each, 2 single crochets in each space. Now we come to the corner again, so 2 single crochets in each space. And now inside the mesh space, we make 3 single crochets until we get to the stitch marker space. But I didn't work until the stitch marker space. I started from the very first mesh, so that is where I'm going to end, and the work is looking like this. Now row 2, you are going to chain 3, and inside the very first stitch, you are going to make a double crochet. Now you are going to place double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row. At the last stitch of the row, you are going to place 2 double crochet inside the same stitch. So we are only going to be increasing in the front parts in the very first stitch of each row. So place 2 double crochet, and now row 3. Again, we are going to place a double crochet, chain 3, place a double crochet in the same stitch, so making it our first increase, and you are going to make double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row, and we shall place 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So this is 1, and then I've placed mine 2. Chain 3 again, turn your work. Inside the very first stitch, you're going to place another double crochet, so that's your increase, and place double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row, and place 2 double crochet in the same stitch. You're going to keep working this until you get the desired length for your collar, but I am going to make 5 rows of double crochet for my collar, and this is my 5 rows. At the end of the row, you're going to chain 1, cut, and fasten your yarn. Now to the arm hole, just as we connected our body, that we are going to be using the same exact method to connect our arm hole. So the arm space, we have 4 squares, so the front have 2 and the back have 2. So we are going to be connecting 4 squares all around to make a complete armhole, and the method is pretty much the same. So into our mesh spaces, so first mesh, make a single crochet, skip 2, and make an extended single crochet, or you can make a single crochet, chain 1 and make your single crochet, chain 1, skip 2. Inside the third stitch, make a single crochet, and you're going to connect our very first part of our arm. You're going to keep connecting until we are going to connect our first mesh, our first square to the body of our work. So just watch what I'm doing and do the same exact thing. But by now I know you are so familiar with the connecting, and you are going to be working the same exact you're going to be connecting it with the same exact format. Nothing has changed, just as we did for the body. So this is our corner. We're going to connect it to the other corner, chain 1, make a treble crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, and make a double crochet in the same stitch. So now we've connected our first square. We are going to work until the end of the row and slip stitch. So to work on, we are going to chain 3 and make our 6 mesh. Make our 6 mesh and make a slip stitch. Now we are going to connect our second square. So with the second square, again, you are only going to be working 1.5. We are going to be working 1.5 corner, and just as we did for the body, you are going to connect it with the same exact format. So we are going to connect it with our very first arm and then extend to the second square, from the very first square to the second square. So just watch how I'm doing it and do the same exact thing for your arm. So we've connected the third side to our very first square. Now we are going to be attaching it to the body of our work. So this is our second square, and mind you, the arm space I left I left 4 squares. So the front has 2 squares and the back also have 2 squares, but we are going to be connecting it all around, so we would have 4 squares for each of our arm space. We're going to have 4 squares, and I feel 4 squares is enough, is very okay for any of the sizes because there's space in it and it fits perfectly. So you're going to go ahead, and the same format we used in connecting this very first square, you're going to use the same to connect the other square, and then I'll meet you when I'm done connecting all my arms, and I'll show you what the work looks like. So you're going to turn to the other parts, and we are going to connect it, the third and then the fourth, and connect all together. Right now I'm running out of yarn, so I used a different shade to connect, and this is what the work is looking like. You're going to go ahead and cut all loose ends, and I'll put it on the mannequin and we see how it looks like. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. Until we meet next week, bye bye.